Hello, hello. There it is. Okay. Set up. Check, check. Yes. Good to see you. Good to hear from you, man. When was the last time you were in Buffalo? Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. We got two people hanging out. How's everything going? Tell me about your day. Yeah, Nick, if you're still there, man, good to hear from you. I just visited with the family for Thanksgiving. I'm not sure when the last time it was that you were in Western New York. Well, that's weird. How's your day going? My day's good. It's lit, fam. I'm doing my very best to host this stream without my kitten, Pippa Lee, destroying our Christmas tree, unplugging all my cables, climbing the curtain, putting her whole paw in my mouth, or Lauren's mouth, or both of our mouths at the same time. She does that sometimes, and yeah, just vibing around. Gigi, cool. Lots of people checking out the Instagram post. Pull through, hang out. Checking out Instagram. A lot of people liking the story. GG. Cool. If you are watching this replay, sorry the first 15 minutes has been very, very slow. – 20 views on the Instagram story that were live. Nobody here. Be right back. All right. Found out my one viewer is my girlfriend. Thanks for being here, Joe. I love you forever. Chat. She hopped my back. She hopped my back, chat. Chat. Joe, this is the one instance that I'm allowed to say chat over and over again, and I'm actually addressing a real person. It's you. We're here for it. Let's go. I hope that when this live is saved to my channel and people go back and watch it, they see 18 minutes of me talking to myself and my girlfriend. It's all right. All videos are just people talking to themselves. Bro, that's facts. You ain't lying. I guess technically people will watch the replay. So chat it up. Yep. Well, yeah, you're right. Life is good. We are running a successful video marketing business. We work full time. We are having a very fun journey, learning how to manage our time, onboarding new clients, and creating custom, innovative ways to help them solve their needs. Working full time doing it, enjoying the process, enjoying the journey, checking out the Instagram story. Hella people lighting up the Instagram story. Nobody coming to the stream. It's pretty lit. Lit, fam. Yeah. What do you think, Joe? How's business? Tell me about it in the chat. Do you think we're going to see Bigfoot this winter? Yeah, I do. That's actually a great question. And that gives me something to talk about. So thank you. We are going to the cabin in February, which reminds me, I think we need to start planning that. Yeah, we're going to the cabin in West Virginia. We have an Airbnb that we stay at a couple times a year, maybe twice a year now, that our friends own. And we became friends with these people from just renting the Airbnb by wanting to get away, have some privacy, go out in the mountains, spend a couple days in the woods. And the owners of the property became good friends of ours. And they've since closed the Airbnb to the public. And now you can only get it by reservation if you are friends of the owners. So that's pretty cool that there's like some exclusivity around this place because um, my girlfriend Lauren and I, who's in the chat, we've had a couple different Sasquatch experiences at the cabin. Just more specifically, this last one in July, over 4th of July, we had, to what I count, two Sasquatch came up to the property. I can actually probably go into that pretty deeply because we got to fill this hour and 45 minutes somehow. Um, Lauren was not feeling well, and I was out seeing a beautiful fireworks show that was being hosted by the only other residential family in the area because it's very remote, very private. And we were in town to film what's called as a walkthrough tour, like a video tour of the Airbnb. We did this just as a gift to our friends because they give us the cabin for free. And so we came in, I think it was like 3 days, Lauren. I can't remember. Was it 2 nights, 3 days? And we are usually there with our friend Caroline Atlas. She's our traveling friend that we spend a lot of time with as often as we can, doing monster hunts and cryptid adventures. And so this was the first time, I think one of the first times that we were ever at this cabin in West Virginia without our friend Atlas. It was just me and Lauren for like 3 days, I think. And so, yeah, the first and the second night, we had Sasquatch activity pretty definitively, where there's a lot of telltale signs when you have a Sasquatch, when you have a Bigfoot um, in around the area where you're staying. There's very characteristic things that they do, and so we actually had some bold characters, some friends come right up to the cabin, which has this big, beautiful porch that actually wraps around the side, the front, and the other side of the property. There is big porch. It's huge, and you can barbecue on it. You can sit on it, hang out, overlook the creek. And for both the 2 nights that we were there, we had Sasquatch coming up basically to the house. We had them knocking on the walls. We had them going to the open windows that had screens, and we had them. This is a really cool thing. So there is a table on the porch, and on the table, I think there is a ashtray for people who smoke like cigarettes or cigars, and then there is a candle, and then there is matchbooks for anybody that smokes, and so they were just there. So we had heard the Sasquatch come up on the porch and pick the matchbooks up, and they were physically playing with the matchbooks. So we could hear them. I could hear them flicking the book. We heard them throwing it back and forth, sliding it across the porch. At one point, one of them threw the matchbook off the porch onto the ground into the leaves, and then we could hear another one messing with it, and then he threw it back up onto the porch. I could hear the matchbook land onto the porch right next to my window, because I like to have my windows open, whether it's winter, whether it's summer, it doesn't matter what time of year. Like, I need fresh air. I can't sleep with the windows closed. It gives me like anxiety. So yeah, this window was right next to the bed where we were sleeping on the first floor, and I could hear the matchbook fly back onto the porch and land. And then they messed around for a little while longer, and I obviously didn't want to, interact with them at that point, because it was really late. Lauren was sleeping; she wasn't feeling well, and so I let them do their thing. And then the next morning, when I went back onto the porch to check and see if now I'm remembering it was actually 2 nights. Because the first night all of this happened, and the second night was 4th of July, which we didn't actually have any activity. But I'll talk about that in a second. So we hear the Sasquatch on the porch. One of them even opened the lid of the barbecue, which was pretty cool. Played with the matchbook for probably about 20 minutes, and then I fell asleep eventually. But we've stayed at this cabin multiple times, and we've had them actually come up on the porch, open the screen door, we've had them try the doors. And I have a friend, and he is the manager of a campground that we produce videos for every year in Philadelphia. And I referred this cabin to him, and he's come with his son to stay here before, and they've had like face-to-face encounters with Sasquatch on the property as well too, where he wasn't getting along with them as much as we do, and he actually had to pretty much fight one off. That's a whole other story. Anyways, so the next morning when I went out on the porch after I heard them playing with the matchbook, I expected to go out there and have to find it or look for it, but they had taken the matchbook and put it back together, like, you can tuck the jacket sleeve into itself so that it's tight and closed. They had neatly put all the jackets closed and then placed them around the candle holder, which I found to be pretty awesome. And so that next night was 4th of July, and I knew that the only other family on their property was going to be hosting a fireworks show. So I went with the property owners that we were staying with. They're friends of ours. So they invited us to this big, beautiful dinner and this fireworks show down the road. And Lauren wasn't feeling well, so she stayed in the room and got some editing done on the computer and just was hanging out, reading. And the fireworks show was amazing. I think it went on for like 20 minutes, and it was just put on by like the family who lives there. But they had this beautiful fireworks show that was set up to go for almost a half an hour. So I spent a couple hours with them, and then I knew in my heart of hearts that if there were fireworks happening that night, any Sasquatch, any Bigfoots, they were not really going to want to be interactive. They weren't going to want to hang out on the porch. I felt like they were probably just going to be, if anything, more upset, more annoyed. I'm sure that they probably don't like things like that. It's probably interesting, but it's probably just more disruptive than it is to, than like the way humans perceive culture. So I told Lauren, I said, I guarantee there's no activity on the porch tonight. And there wasn't. I was discouraged because one thing you can do is you can place out items, like you can place props. You can take paper, markers, leave these on the porch, leave these around the property, because sometimes the Sasquatch will actually write on it. They're known to draw symbols, or they'll make squiggly lines. There's even some people who have shown that they can write English, which that's pretty amazing. never underestimate their intelligence or their knowledge or what they're capable of or what they know about our culture, because some Sasquatch can literally write English. So I left out notepads, 3 notepads, 3 pens. I drew some symbols on them, wrote some questions on them, and whether we had any come up to the porch or not, they did not interact with us that night, and there was nothing written on the notes because I just don't think they like the I don't think they like the fireworks. So, but that first night was pretty amazing, and I actually did record audio. If I totally forgot to mention this, I recorded audio of the porch the second night, which was the night of the night of the fireworks. I did not record it the night that they were actually on the porch making a bunch of noise, but I did capture some sounds that happened after I fell asleep on that firework night that did seem very strange. I heard some knocking, I heard some slamming sounds, a lot of footstep, which you could also just say, hey, that was animals. I get it. But when you hear knocking or things being thrown or slamming sounds, that's oftentimes Sasquatch. And so I did get some audio, and I haven't edited that yet, but I might post that up on the YouTube at some point. If anybody wants to hear that, I can go to the trouble to get that produced and put it here. It's just like a short, 2-minute video of some sound compilation. So yeah, that was our last Sasquatch encounter. Lauren, are you still in the chat? If you're here, when was that? I forget when. Right, that was July 4th. I get mixed up because we go to the cabin twice a year, most commonly in the winter. So to answer your question, yes, we are going back to the cabin in West Virginia in February. I anticipate contact because we're going to do things that invite it. That's a whole nother story, but you can actually do things that call in Sasquatch. You can do things to attract them. You can do things to invite them, to let them know that you're interested in having an interaction. So I'm going to be doing that with, Atlas and her partner, Elizabeth, and Lauren this February. I think it's like a tradition now. I think we've gone to the cabin 2 times in February. Once in March. Do you think there's any other cryptids out there? Well, West Virginia is a hotspot, right? Part of the Bermuda Triangle runs into West Virginia, but we have countless stories of cryptids and extraterrestrials and creatures of that kind in West Virginia. So do I think there are other ones out there? Absolutely. I think whether or not people will ever experience all of them, that's another story. But I would say that we probably have a colony of, what they call trolls, or you can call them like gnomes, like those types of entities. There's a huge colony of them that runs from Pennsylvania into West Virginia. We have the dog man in West Virginia. People have reported a lot of different extraterrestrial types. You have a lot of areas in West Virginia that are like no radio zones, and that tends to be somewhere that you find a lot more of those entities and have those sort of encounters with cryptids, is when there are low radio, low frequency zones. So that's particularly where we go in West Virginia. It's a no radio zone. So your cell phone doesn't work. Any internet that you have it's hardwired. It's not wireless. So there's it's sort of a conducive environment for those types of entities to manifest. So I definitely think that we have a lot of species out there for sure. Once again, Lauren, thank you for being my only chat. Tons and tons and tons of people hitting up all of the Instagram marketing for the stream. Nobody pulling through. I think you need to build up ads for longer so people can plan to be here. Yep. What do you mean? You mean like posting like 20 minutes before the stream isn't enough? Where is everybody on a Friday at 1 o'clock? No, I think one thing about the numbers and like people being available is it's 1:00 on a Friday, right? Weird time to stream. I think that yeah, you're right. I definitely should market and promote a little bit sooner before the stream. Um, but as being the only person here, and also in the next room, which shows your loyalty, it's hard. It's hard to do anything for your own brand when you're constantly in service to others, making sure their needs are fulfilled. So we definitely, you and I both, we definitely prioritize our clients over ourselves quite often. And the only reason why I haven't marketed and advertised sooner is because I work nonstop and you work nonstop. Um, but yeah, marketing sooner and maybe doing it during primetime hours and not like in the middle of the day would help. So yeah, Joe, we should start planning that February trip, I guess, sooner than later. We'll probably do 3 nights, I think. We'll do 3 nights in 4 days, especially since we have a group. Special thank you to our one viewer in the chat for asking an excellent question. Will we see Sasquatch this winter? The answer is yes. I used to think that when you had an encounter, specifically with that species, I'm not saying this like as a blanket term for all species, for all cryptids, but with Sasquatch in particular, I think at this point in my life, at this point in your life, um, it's safe to say that it used to feel like a right place, right time, or an encounter would happen when we least expect it. But now I think it's something that you can sort of create. It's something that you can manifest. It's something that you can sort of instigate, make happen. So that's what we'll do when we go to West Virginia. Is I think that we will plan to create an encounter, create an experience. I think would be really cool. Are there any games you're excited for this year? Post Malone's Hunt Showdown event. Hunt Showdown is a video game produced by Crytek. It's my favorite video game. I play it the most. It's a 1800s extraction shooter, but we need to finish Alan Wake, the Alan Wake DLC. We should actually play that tonight, by the way. I'm excited for that. We also need to get the new Life is Strange. Big fans of the Life is Strange series because they are the butterfly effect. So you can actually choose your story and influence the outcome of the game of the story. I'm a big fan of those. So we need to get Life is Strange, finish Alan Wake, and I know there's other titles I want for sure, but I'm drawing a blank now that I'm on the spot. Good question. What about you? What you plan? Tell me and the chat that's also me. What game are you playing? I can't believe we're not streaming Lake House right now. Realistically, if we were just streaming Lake House, we'd probably have 30 viewers. Nancy Drew, I can't stop. Did you beat it yet? You should be streaming Nancy Drew, chat, which is me and Lauren. You should be streaming Nancy Drew at your computer. Or better yet, you should go on cam and I should go on cam and we should both live stream and host like a live stream of us talking in our own house in separate rooms. If you're anybody, because we have one viewer and it's Lauren. If you're anybody watching this from your now moment, but my past, this live stream has just been me and my girlfriend talking, and she's playing Nancy Drew computer game in the room, literally right behind me. She's in there. If you want to know what true love looks like and true support and true loyalty, when your partner is the only one in the chat and you live together, that's fucking loyalty. Let's go. F's in the chat for Lauren. Here we go. It's lit. F's in the chat for our one viewer. Currently 2 viewers. Hello, welcome to the stream. If you're just now getting here, 1 viewer, it's been me and my girlfriend talking for that. Goodbye. Lauren, I wonder if maybe Cindy, hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. Love the angel wings. Love the star. Cindy, thank you for joining. We are just chatting. I'm chatting with Pikachu. We're talking about Bigfoot and Sasquatch and video games. Any galactic input, always. Thanks, James. Emma Starseed. Excellent. Thank you for being here. We are all Starseeds. I'm from Sirius. Cindy, do you know your Starseed origins? Do you know anything about your galactic family? Anything you'd like to share in the chat today? Taigetan. I got it. Right. Tay was a abbreviation. So Taigetan Starseed. Excellent. So tell me if you don't mind sharing. We're looking to have some conversations. So if you are a Taigetan Starseed, do you have any memories? Do you know anything about your friends, your family from back home? Any information that you would like to share about that? Pikachu in the chat is also a Starseed. She is not Taigetan, but she is of other origins. I don't have much info that I can share. Certainly. All good. Well, thank you for being here. I love the Charistus angel wings you posted. Got to give a shout out to the 6th density Charistus. And thank you for being here. I'm sure you follow Cosmic Agency and you follow Mary Swaz channel. I know was an Irma. I was Charistus too. Awesome. That's very exciting to hear. I think the Irma is probably like my favorite extraterrestrial race because they're just so cool and so awesome and so badass. I'm sure you heard recently that Mary is a Irma starseed herself, which is pretty awesome. We're big Irma fans. We actually have 3 cats, 3 little Irma starseeds as well. So Cindy, about the Charistus, did you ever look into the cause? Did you know anything about the cause? Very fascinating subject, secret society to research. Welcome to the chat, everybody. I see that we have 4 or 5 people in the chat. We're just talking about starseeds and Sasquatch and extraterrestrials. Yeah, Dante. Yeah, Cindy. I don't know why Dante doesn't really, he doesn't really like Cosmic Agency, but that's okay, right? We don't judge. We don't care. It's all, from my perspective, it's all knowledge. It's all information. I follow Dante as well too. I even have some people who are part of the cause follow me on Instagram, which I find to be pretty awesome. I follow Dante on YouTube as well. I oftentimes wish that the Charistas would do more in the direction of involvement and intervention the way that the negative, more regressive races do. Don't know much about it. Very complex. Dante is not, he doesn't like the disclosure. I think he's just on his own agenda. I agree. I completely agree with that. I'm sure he's involved in so many very complicated things that the average public civilian has no idea the type of pressure and stress and work that he does full time. And I think that it's pretty isolating, pretty lonely responsibility that he has. So when it comes to other people coming forward with extraterrestrial contact, being contactees or having their own types of disclosures, it's sometimes easier to just stay in your own path, stay in your own mission, and try not to get involved with so many other groups and factions and organizations. Even if I do see it to be a little bit more of an opportunity for community and collaboration, I understand that people need to stay on their path. I'm one of them. I oftentimes just do my thing, and I understand the need for that. Hello, hello. Welcome to the chat. Hello, hello. Welcome. I think is it Karthik? Is that how you pronounce it? Welcome to the chat. We are just talking about Sasquatch and star seeds and extraterrestrials. Hello, hello. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out the stream. We're just chatting. My lunch break just ended. Glad was able to share a bit. Thanks for everything you share. Thank you for being here, Cindy. Take care. Nice connecting with you. Nice chatting with you. Karthik, I have a question. What time is it? Wherever you are, where you're watching from, what time is it there? Curious. India. Excellent. 12:16 a.m. Well, that is very late, very early. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. It is 1:47 Eastern time in the United States. But thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you are here from Instagram, thank you for checking out the stream. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. So, Karthik, where did you find the stream from? How do you know Daniel James? I know you're from Cosmic Agency. Awesome. Excellent. Thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate that. Yeah, that's me. I've been doing Robert's voice on Cosmic Agency. I want to say, Lauren, if you're still here, you might know. 2021, 3 years, maybe. I think I've been doing Robert's voice for 3 years. Gosha is a friend of mine. She's very sweet. 4 years. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Yeah, because I think we started in 2020, I think. And I started doing on Cosmic Agency. I was originally doing Ragel, the voice of Ragel, and then Gosha asked me to start doing Robert's voice as well too. And the funny origin story with that is that she originally wanted somebody who could speak Spanish and English so that she could have one male doing Robert's voice in both languages. But I don't natively know Spanish. I was only able to speak it phonetically and very, very poorly at that. But she thought that I did such a good job in the English version that she offered me to just take the English Robert. And so I've been doing it consistently ever since now for about 4 years. And I enjoy doing it. I'm grateful to still be involved because I know that, AI is taking over. And there are so many apps now where you can just generate AI voices that sound great. They get the job done. And you wouldn't have to, as a producer like Gosha, as a video producer, you wouldn't have to wait for your voice actors to record the voiceover and mix it and send it over to you. And then you could finish the videos when the voiceovers are done. So she could easily just be doing AI for all of the other voices now. But she still kind of keeps myself involved, and she keeps, I think, Claudia, who does Annika once in a while, involved whenever there's Annika voiceovers that are in need. So I think Gosha tries to keep some real humans doing the voiceover, but once in a while she uses AI voices as too. And I just do it, for fun, to stay involved in the community and to show my support. I know that Gosha is on vacation right now. I think she goes on vacation like once a week, once a month. And she just put out a video recently that she didn't need me for. But whenever she has Robert dialogue in the voiceover, it's always me. You said you remember being a member of Canine Race. Yes. I think Mary need a video about the Loopies. Any connections there? Yes. What an excellent question. Thank you for asking that. So the answer is yes. That was such a deep question to ask. So those canine races in the video that Mary put out, there was a couple different races mentioned, but she talked about factions, like they have their own federation, which is so amazing. And if you really study extraterrestrials and races and factions, you do notice that we never talk about canine races. We never talk about canine species and subvariants. So, what I can tell you is this: those canine races that she mentioned, that Mary mentioned in her video, which I hope she does more about, I hope we can talk more about canine races. They did exist on planet Earth. They did used to inhabit our side of the cosmos. They have been sequestered and quarantined because obviously our secret societies, the controllers of Earth, they don't want the canine races to have any involvement or any leverage or any um, influence on planet Earth, because they're very much like the Irma in this sense, where all they want is planetary liberation. All they want is the freedom of the Earth collective consciousness. So, to answer your question, yes, I am a canine starseed. Now, I can't say everything on stream on YouTube in regards to my starseed origins. because that invites a lot of danger and attacks. Obviously, the canines they're not somebody that our secret societies want any involvement of. But what I can tell you is I'm producing a movie, and the movie is called Oma, and I depict one of my past lives. Okay, one of my past lives where I was a canine human Lyrian hybrid. So if you've ever seen the movies, there's the American films Underworld. Uh, if you're familiar with werewolves or lycanthropes, so this particular race, one of my past lives, we were humanoid canine hybrid mix. So we looked very similar to humans. We had mostly human features, but then we would have a lot of canine DNA, canine characteristics, um, canine attributes, right? So some of their physical appearance looked kind of dog-like in a sense. Um, one of the depictions would be like if you look up a movie from the 90s called Wolf with Jack Nicholson. Um, one of the Underworld films has werewolf hybrids. So I'm trying to give you like American film examples of what from movies like we could kind of look like. But if you was to take a human and mix it with a canine, that would be similar to what we looked like. So I work very much in the theme of canine energy. So that's one of my past lives is being a human canine hybrid. But in Mary Swaz's video about the Lupi, they talk about the Egyptian depictions, right? The Anubis, those are all like a real species. Those are a real extraterrestrial race of canine beings. Now look at it like this. You've got full on dog canine extraterrestrials that are mostly canine featured the same way the Irma are all feline. But then you're going to have everything in between as well too. You're going to have they might be more another sub race of canine that's mixed. So I can't tell you anymore about my particular starseed origin or the names of my race, like where I come from, but it's very, very, very canine coded. It's very canine themed. So I appreciate you asking. I think that I very much wish that there would be more videos by Mary and even Gosha, Cosmic Agency, maybe even Robert, where we're talking more about the canine races. But let me just tell you this. I think that there is a reason why they're not talked about very much. That's it. How do you feel about how it's depicted in media? It's cool, bro. Irma said Lupis cooperate with the Procyon Lyrian race from Canis Minor. That's correct. Dante said some Charistus have wolf DNA, I guess. Some Charistus are Lupi starseeds. That's awesome. See, now I didn't even know that. You just taught me something. I did not know that yet. So let's talk a little bit more about that, Karthik. Do you follow Dante? Like how much of the cause, how much of the Charistus do you follow? How much do you know? I only know what you can find on YouTube, right? Like I follow Dante on YouTube. I have a couple people from the cause that follow me on Instagram, but I'm not integrated in that community or in that society of people yet. I'd like to be. I would love for anybody from the cause, anybody from the Charistus to reach out to me, get in touch with me. Let's have a conversation. But I didn't know that the Charistus shared canine Procyon DNA. That was new to me. That makes a lot of sense because any of the races that are very pro-human, right? They're very pro-Earth, very pro-Lyrian. I'm finding that they are more so on like the feline and the canine side, right? They're more that sort of archetype, right? The feline canine archetypes. They really love Earth and they really do love Lyrians and they really do love humans. And I think that's why you don't see a lot of it in mainstream media. Also, Lauren, her Pikachu asked a question in the chat, which I really appreciate. So, how do you feel about how it's depicted in media? So, let's talk about canine extraterrestrials, canine starseeds, canine energy, canine archetype, and how it's depicted in mainstream media. Do you ever notice how we have werewolves? They're mutant creatures that transform and they kill humans, right? Werewolves are depicted to be feared. They're depicted to be dangerous. You know that we have lycanthropy. You know that we have the dogmen. There's a many full canine dogman species in the United States, and they're feared. They're demonized in culture, in media. That's because all of the canine races are demonized so that humans fear them, because all they want to do is help us. That's all I'm going to say. Karthik says, I'm in a Telegram channel. There are a lot of videos there. I'm familiar with most of the info he shares. Recently, he said he will be back in 10 years. Hey, Karthik, I have a Telegram account. Could you link me? Could you link me that Telegram link so that I can join the group and get involved? You can DM me on Instagram. You can DM me on Facebook. Thank you. I'll join, and that way I will catch up on everything that you're familiar with as well too. So, Pikachu, to answer your question, I think that canines, wolf entities, are depicted in mainstream media in a negative way, because I think that the controllers of Earth do not want us to connect to canines and to see them as a power symbol. Yeah, Karthik, I don't know if you heard me say this earlier to Cindy, but I wish that the cause and Dante would collaborate more, be more open to working with groups and organizations like Cosmic Agency. I understand why he would want things to be separate and do his own thing and stay on his own mission. But I'm also a big fan. I have a sense of community, and anytime any groups and organizations in terms of like ET contacts want to cross pollinate, they want to connect together, I'm a big fan of that. Excuse me. Pippa Lee. This is Pippa. Irma. My little Irma. Starseed.